So we have a quick video here for the PAXCESS portable power station with 280 watt, 67500 milliamp portable generator. Let's get right to it. So here we have it. Comes in a standard box. The label, PAXCESS. There it is. So as you can see, 280 watt. Understand the connections for the AC outlets, DC outputs, USB outputs. It gives you a sticker of the applications that you can use for, so different appliances on there. And then you have the DC input and the fan. And like the other things that it comes with. Different connections and the power brick. Alright, cigarette lighter, a regular cable. Alright, so it's supposed to be 110 volts for the P sine wave, the 12.6 DC port. And then you should be able to recharge this with a solar panel. I actually physically have a 100 watt solar panel array that folds. So I have it, so it would be perfect for this. Especially out here in Florida. You never know. Hurricanes come. You need some backup power source. I have another one, not the same one, but a different style that kind of does the same way. So it's good to have. I saw this one. I wanted to get a little bit more power out of it. Another one that I have, it's about, I would say, 45,000 milliamp or so. So this was lasts a little longer. These things generally, if you have a full day of sun, so probably I would say about 8 to 10 hours to recharge it fully. So it kind of works for how or when you need it. So you can have it say using it for a couple hours during the night. Say for example, like a mini fridge or something like that you can run for 4 or 5 hours. In the meantime, something like that, or different types of electronics, and obviously to recharge, anything that you probably have around the house. So if you want to recharge, your phones, anything that's USB powered, this will get the job done as well. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to show the capability of it being able to charge or actually power a mini fridge that I have. So that way you can see that it does have that sufficient type of power to be able to run that. So just like it has here, it's an example there, so you can basically charge a laptop that's 50 watts for 4 times. You can have an iPad charge it 10 times, a camera 35 times, an iPhone 24 times. So it shows you the capability of it. So to be able to use it in case an emergency situation. It also says you can use a CPAP. I don't physically have one, but the type of power that it requires to run a CPAP should be sufficient to be able to work probably for overnights type of power. So if you need to use it for something like that, this will be perfect for it. So we're gonna get right to it. I'm gonna go ahead and set it up near the fridge there, and then we'll show you how this works. All right, so we're back here. As you can see, this will be the first time I turn it on. So we'll see how charged or how much power does it have coming from factory. Let's take a look. So you can see right there, so at least 60% of the way. I'm guessing it was probably charged fully. Maybe not. I don't think, because these things are supposed to hold on to the power very sufficient for a very long time. So I'm thinking that they probably charge it up maybe 75% or 60% on there from factory. But all in all, that should be pretty good for this. So we're gonna do is I'm gonna turn it off now. We do have a mini fridge here. So we're gonna go ahead and plug it in and see what we got here. There we go. So the angle's here. Let's go ahead and plug that in. So as soon as I plugged it in here, looks like it went straight down to 20% and it's flashing. And so I'm probably guessing that maybe it's not sufficient at the start on there, so it probably needs a good charge before we begin. So we're gonna go ahead and plug that in and see what happens from here. Alright, so after further reviewing on there and checking out the specs on the actual battery, so it looks like for the battery itself worked as it's supposed to. So if there's a change in the type of voltage that's coming into the actual battery, it's going to protect itself. So that's why you saw that it went down to that 20% and it basically just cut off the power to the unit. So you're not going to be able to say run a mini fridge unless that fridge is within the specs of the battery. Because not all fridges are made the same, and especially like in any, every country as well, in case, people are buying this in, say, in a different country as well. So it's got to be between the 9 and 12.6 volt range. And then the maximum output for this is about 6 amps. So if that appliance does not have the voltage stabilizing function, because some appliances do have that, then when that voltage drops, then the battery is going to protect itself because it can't do that. It's not made to do that. So that's an example. My fridge is probably, I could say, it's a very old fridge. It's probably maybe 15 years old, that little mini fridge. And it could be the reason, so we'll be trying that out because I'm probably going to end up purchasing a new one in the future anyway. But I just wanted to try to see if it can power at least that one in the meantime. But looks like it won't, not for this instance. But I am pretty sure that this does it because I do have a friend that has one of these that ended up, that's one of the main drivers for me to get it, because he does have a different brand mini fridge, like a cube fridge like that, and it works perfect. So not all fridges are made the same, so we can't have that kind of expectation coming from it. This thing will be able to power basically anything else as well. So just remember that. We do have charging cable here, so we can test it out here. Take that one off here and then plug in that USB one. That way we can show an example here. So I do have an iPad here. Let's go ahead and plug that in. As you can see, it still has 60%, so that's the reason it had dropped before, because it was the voltage was dropping. And there you go. You see it is charging. And that's awesome. So yeah, it's gonna come in handy, especially for those events when you lose power through the storms out here. So it's always good to have. Yeah, you can have power banks as well, but excuse me, having a power bank as well, but those usually don't last as long. So you gotta be recharging them over and over. So at least with something like this, you don't have to worry about that throughout the day as well. So depending on usage, it'll come in handy to you. So all in all, it's a perfect little device, and as you saw, it demonstrated the ability to protect itself in case it has some type of power surge going through it, or something is not correct. So that way the unit doesn't damage. So if you're in the market for one of these, this will be probably one of the ones to get. And obviously it all depends on what you need it for and how much power you need. That's why you see different prices on them. Because some have it here, some can go up to 78,000 milliamps, higher than that, over 100,000 milliamps on there. So it's all dependent on what you need it for. So yeah, if you're in the market, this could be a good one to get. Have a good one.